Skild AI just dropped a robot brain that works across any machine. Humanoids, arms, quadrupeds, you name it. Figure AI's humanoid loads laundry on its own, no teleop, no scripts. And in Japan, Casio's Moflin is acting less like a gadget and more like an emotional support pet. Here's how it all fits together. Let's kick things off with Skild AI, because what they're doing with humanoid control might be one of the most important developments in robotics right now, and somehow, barely anyone's talking about it. This Pittsburgh-based company just unveiled what they call the Skild Brain, a general-purpose AI model that isn't locked into one robot body or one type of task. What makes it different is that it's not just another behavior tree or motion library, it's a full-stack intelligence layer that lets robots think, react, and physically interact with the world in ways that actually resemble human decision-making. And yes, it works on humanoids. The Skild Brain is built to run on almost any robotic form. Humanoids, quadrupeds, articulated arms, logistics bots, all of them tap into the same model, which means one core intelligence system can learn and adapt across totally different machines. In Skild's demos, their robots climb stairs, stay balanced after being shoved, and pick up objects buried in clutter, not with rigid scripts, but with real-time spatial reasoning. You can see the adjustment in their posture, the micro corrections in movement. They're not just executing commands, they're understanding their environment. And this didn't happen by accident. One of the biggest hurdles in robotics right now is data, or more accurately, the lack of it. Unlike vision or language models that can scrape billions of images and text from the internet, robots don't have a giant online data set to pull from. So Skild had to do it differently. They pre-trained their model in simulated worlds and on massive amounts of human action video, and then fine-tuned everything using real-world data from every robot running their system. That creates what the team calls a shared brain. So if one robot gets better at assembling parts in a factory, another one, say a humanoid navigating a kitchen, instantly benefits. It's continuous learning across bodies and industries. The brains behind Skild, Deepak Pathak and Abhinav Gupta, are coming straight out of the embodied AI research space. Gupta actually ran Meta's robotics lab before founding Skild, and Pathak has been publishing papers on physical intelligence for years. And they're not chasing viral clips or flashy stunts. Everything Skild is doing points to long-term deployment, consistent performance in messy environments, not just lab-controlled scenes. They're already working with LG CNS and other partners to roll this out in logistics, industrial tasks, and likely domestic applications down the line. Safety isn't an afterthought either. One of the first things they built into Skild Brain was power awareness. Limits on how much force a robot can apply in any situation. That kind of restraint is exactly what you need if humanoids are going to share space with people. If a robot's moving dishes, it shouldn't crush a plate by accident. If it's navigating a home, it needs to recognize when a child or pet steps into its path and adapt instantly. Well, Skild's model is already doing this, modulating its own behavior to match its surroundings. So while the media spotlight's been bouncing between Boston Dynamics, Tesla's Optimus, and the latest startup doing robot backflips, Skild's quietly been building what might become the foundation layer for how humanoids function in the real world. They're not trying to win attention, they're trying to make robots actually useful. And judging by how quickly their model is spreading across different robot platforms, they might already be ahead of the curve. But they're not the only ones getting real with humanoid robotics. Let's shift to California, where Figure AI just blew up the internet with a laundry demonstration. Yeah, you heard that right, laundry. But it's more impressive than it sounds. In a video posted by Chief Executive Officer Brett Adcock, their humanoid bot, Figure 02, is seen grabbing clothes from a basket and loading them into a washing machine. No remote control, no CGI, just a robot doing an ordinary chore with surprising efficiency. Now, it doesn't hit the start button or pour in detergent yet, but the fact that it can manipulate clothes with that level of dexterity is a big deal. What's powering this behavior is their Helix model, a vision, language, action system that lets the robot interpret its surroundings, understand commands, and physically interact with the world using learned behaviors. It's essentially a fusion of visual perception, language understanding, and action planning all in one. This wasn't just some marketing stunt. According to Adcock, they've been running Helix laundry trials at the office for over a month, and now it's finally working well enough in actual homes. It's significant because most humanoid demos still rely on teleoperation, basically a human puppeteer guiding every motion. But this one? Fully autonomous. The reaction online was instant. Tech blogs like Interesting Engineering and Digital Trends praise the robot's smooth movement and practical utility. Wall Street Pit and OODA even use the word shocked to describe how easily the bot handled something that people usually take for granted. One user on X joked about growing up with a robot doing chores, while another just asked flat out, "When can I buy this thing?" To be clear, this is still early stage tech. Figure 02 isn't for sale yet, and there's no official timeline for a consumer launch, but it signals something important. Household robotics is moving away from science fiction and toward actual implementation. And it's not just about dancing robots or kung fu demos anymore, we're talking about systems that can genuinely help around the house. It also places Figure AI squarely in the race with companies like 1X Technologies, who've got their Eve and Neo bots in development, and Agility Robotics, whose Digit robot was shown sorting laundry by voice command at the Web Summit in Europe. The competition's heating up, and each one of these players is showing a different angle on what general-purpose humanoids might look like in action. And now for something completely different, but no less fascinating, let's head to Japan, where people are falling in love with a fluffy little AI pet called Moflin. Made by Casio. Yeah, the same Casio known for watches like G-Shock and Baby G. Moflin is a small, fuzzy robot that acts like a cross between a guinea pig and a Tamagotchi, only way smarter. It uses artificial intelligence to adapt to its owner's behavior and can express more than 4 million distinct personality traits. Let that sink in. 4 million. The way it works is actually kind of adorable. Moflin gradually learns who interacts with it most, who pets it, talks to it, or cuddles it. Over time, it builds preferences and emotional patterns. If you give it regular attention, it starts acting calm, happy, and secure. Ignore it, and it might start showing signs of stress or sadness. It even develops its own sleep cycle, and every unit turns out a little different depending on how it's raised. Just like a real pet, but without the litter box. Casio initially developed it with women in mind, specifically women in their late 30s and 40s, as a sort of emotional support companion, and they nailed it. Moflin launched in November and sold over 7,000 units by March, smashing their internal projections. Some users are even taking them on trips, treating them like real pets. It costs around 59,400 yen, or roughly 400 United States dollars. And if you really want to pamper your Moflin, Casio even offers a salon service where the robot's fur gets washed and fluffed. Yes, that's real, a robot pet grooming salon. The Moflin team is led by Irina Ichikawa, and she described the concept as a kind of sidekick for people dealing with stress at work, or in life in general. The project actually took off when an engineer at Casio brought in a prototype design just to showcase animal cuteness. But what they ended up with is way more than a gimmick. It's a deeply personalized robotic companion that blurs the line between machine and emotional presence. And that's what ties all of this together. Skild's shared brain giving robots special reasoning, Figure's Helix model handling laundry like a human, and Moflin quietly becoming a part of people's daily routines. AI isn't staying in our screens anymore. It's stepping into our physical world, whether it's to climb stairs, fold shirts, or ask for cuddles. But that's it for now. If you're into humanoids, advanced robotics, and where this tech is actually going, not just the hype, make sure to subscribe. Hit the bell so you don't miss what's next, because the future isn't waiting, and neither are these robots.